This is the new Freewell K2 filter system. This compact filter system allows you to magnetically attach hard stop VND filters like their previous filter system, but the K2 has a twist, or should I say, an island. Let's dig into the details of the K2 filter system, see how it works, and I'll tell you my thoughts at the end. Hey there, I'm Keith, a videographer and designer from Cleveland, Ohio. I like making videos about camera gear and how to use it, so if you like that kind of stuff, check out some of my other videos after this one. Freewell did send me their K2 before it went live on their Indiegogo campaign, but no money exchanged hands, they don't get to preview this video before posting, and all these words are my own. Starting off, what comes in the box will be different based on what kit you get. The K2 is currently available on Indiegogo, so there are several different kits and bonus items. I'll put all the available filters and kits on screen now. The retail price for the kits starts at $4.99, but the Indiegogo campaign has super early bird and early bird pricing, along with bonus filters and cases, so click the link in the description to find out more current pricing and those bonuses. I can talk about the filters I have though, and that is the VND base kit, along with the 1/8 glow mist, blue streak filter, and the graduated soft filter. Let's start by putting the VND base on our camera. To start, we'll need to use the appropriate adapter for our lens. There are a number of different adapter sizes I'll put on screen now, but our lens is 77 millimeters, so we'll use the 77 millimeter adapter thread, and we'll just thread it directly onto our lens. And this is the adapter that our base system sits on. Next, we'll take our base and loosen the red thumb screws and press in the red locks. We'll slide the base into the adapter and release the red locks. This secures the base system onto our camera, but we can still move the base system around. This will become more important later, but I always like to level this based on the built-in level on the back of the base. Finally, we'll turn these red thumb screws to lock it in place. On to the more fun stuff. Now we're gonna start adding our filters. Typically, if you want to stack filters, you're either screwing circular filters on or sliding filters into a matte box. The K2 has a different concept when it comes to filters and stacking. The next step is to attach your VND base, and this is the filter that our VND will move against to actually adjust exposure. To put this into the K2 system, line up the two Freewell logos and just magnetically attach it. This only goes into the filter system one way, so this one's pretty hard to mess up. Next, we'll add our VND, and this is the 1:5 VND, and there's a few things I like about this filter. If you don't know about VND filters, I made a whole video going over that I'll link above and at the end of this video. But the first thing I really love about this filter in particular is that it magnetically attaches to our K2 filter system. So to put it on, you just place it on the front and you're done. That is a very nice time saver. And if you want to do any filter changes, like if you want to go from the 1:5 to the 6:9, it's as easy as taking the filter off of the front, taking your 6:9 and just putting it onto the front of our filter system. And that is the fastest filter change I've ever done before. So I'll put our 1:5 back on. And another thing I like about these is that they have hard stops on these filters still. When you reach the end of the polarization, there is a hard stop that won't let you turn the filter anymore. And if you go the opposite direction towards 1, there's also a hard stop over there too. So this is nice if you don't want to misalign your filters and have any cross polarization in your shots. I have other VNDs that don't have hard stops, and when you're adjusting your VND, you're not looking at the front of the filter to see if you're going over your stops. I'm typically looking at my screen and adjusting the filter this way, so I don't know if I actually go from, past my highest or lowest strength and I'm introducing cross polarization until I see it on my camera. So having these hard stops is nice so I don't accidentally go too far. A unique part of these VNDs is you can remove them and then remove the base, and they will act as different filters if you flip them over. Flipping over the 1:5 becomes a CPL, and flipping over the 6:9 becomes an ND32PL. If you flip them over, there is no hard stop on this side, so if you have to adjust the polarization to cut out some glare in your shot, you won't be restricted from those hard stops like you would on the other side not introducing cross polarization, but we don't have to worry about eliminating polarization. We actually want to be able to spin them 360 degrees to cut out any glare that we need. So it's nice that they included hard stops when you need them, but flipping it over, you can adjust it 360 degrees as needed. The VNDs are also marketed as true color VNDs, which have less color shift than traditional variable neutral density filters. These filters and any filters that you put in front of your camera will have some kind of a color shift, but regular ND filters have less color shift than variable neutral density filters. The change is subtle, but it's there if you're looking for it. If you're like me and you want to correct any of these color shifts though, I made some LUTs that fix all of these shifts. You can check them out in the description if you are interested in that. The next stage Freewell refers to as the K2 Island, and this is one of the bigger changes from the previous magnetic systems. This allows you to add specialty filters to the base, like the glow mist or the streak filter or the graduated filters, without removing any of the front magnetic filters. To insert these filters, we'll have to open the K2 Island, and this allows us to slot in the trays of filters. For the streak and graduated filters, the level on the back of the K2 will allow you to keep your horizons level while you're using this. In my usage, the 1/8 glow mist is the filter that I use the most here. Also, having the blue streak filter was nice and it made for some interesting shots, but I wouldn't want to use this filter all the time as it is very stylized and it would be a little overkill after a while. But if you want to put some emphasis on some certain shots like headlights shining towards the camera, the blue streak can be a very creative choice. I've only tested the 1/8 glow mist filter and I've liked the results. It's not overpowering and it does lift up the contrast and bloom the highlights. I'm a very big fan of that look, especially on these really sharp modern Sony cameras. It's not super overpowering on the 1/8. I would be interested to try the 1/4 and other diffusion filters, but I've been liking the glow mist 1/8 pretty well so far. Moving on to the lens cap. The lens cap is a nice addition because if you're stacking filters and you have a lot of screw-on filters, oftentimes you're not going to be able to put a lens cap on the end of your filters. So when you put it back into your bag, you risk anything in your bag getting loose and scratching the front filter of your camera. This also just adds another layer of protection, and it's really nice that these filters just magnetically attach. So if you need to take your lens cap off or swap out another filter, it's as easy as just removing all of the filters and putting it back onto your K2 base system. The case that comes with the K2 is surprisingly good. Not that I expected it to be bad, but it is way more stylized than I'm used to seeing for filter cases. One downside is though, it is pretty large. I have the Lowepro 450 AW2 and it does fit pretty well in that bag. But that being said, that's a larger bag overall. So if you have a smaller camera bag, these filters may take up more space in your bag than you're used to having for a filter case. The filter case is 3 inches by 5¼ inches high by 5½ inches wide. You can fit your filters in the case, but I tend to leave my filters on my camera. And since I have other filters, I just keep the filters that I'm not using in the case. So that works out pretty well for me. But if this case doesn't fit in your bag, Freewell actually includes a carabiner and a clip on the back that you can clip this onto your bag or keep it in your car or something. So if this doesn't fit into your bag, there are other solutions. Or if you want to go full dad mode and clip it on your hip, you can do that too, I suppose. As great as magnetic filters are, I was a little concerned when I first got these how durable they would be and if they would actually stick on the front of the camera and really attach to the base system, because the last thing I want is to accidentally bump these off of my camera and have them break. When I heard magnets, I was like, that would be great for convenience, but how does it actually translate to durability? My buddy Tyler told me that steelhead trout were jumping up a waterfall, and I've never really filmed anything like that, so I tried to get all National Geographic for a little while. So I took these out fishing and I had my 100-400 Sigma lens on here, and I just kept the whole camera on my tripod with these on the end. And I was walking through the woods and I was trying to get to the fishing spot where the waterfall was, and I had absolutely no problems with this filter system. I was not purposely trying to bang it around or anything, but it did handle all of the abuse that I put it through that day.
I think this one's gonna have to come out at home. My hands are a little too cold. Zoom in on my eyelets, specifically the very top one.
And after using these for so long and then taking them into pretty harsh environments, made me realize how durable these filters actually were. And that was one thing that when I first opened these up, having magnetic filters is great for ease of use, but that actually does translate to good durability because these are very magnetically sticky to the front of the base system. I've been using the K2 filter system for the past few months, and anywhere from a talking head video that's just a little too overexposed to standing in the middle of a river filming fly fishing, these filters have performed exactly how I needed them to perform. The ease of use and expandability of these is nice too, because not every shoot is the same, and if your shoot needs different things, the filter system can adapt to the needs of that shoot. But still, my favorite feature is the magnetic VND with the hard stops. What do you guys think of the K2 system? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you want to learn more about ND filters, check out this video on screen now. I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.